Hi, my name is Nino Gonzalez, and welcome to another episode of Making Sense. Well, today we're going to have a green show, and by that we're going to talk about saving money and maybe avoiding some bad chemicals in your life by doing a little bit of recycling and doing a little bit of homemade things. So I have the pleasure of having somebody here from the college, Mayra Villalobos. She's an environmentalist specialist here at the college, and welcome, Mayra.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Nino,
taking
for
time
inviting me.
out of your busy schedule to come by and talk to us about it. But I've known you for a while, and I've seen you progress through the college. And tell us how you started all of this, because it's been several years now.
Yes, it's actually been 7 years now.
Wow.
Before I was a student here, I started the recycling program as a project, as a homework. And it was just a homework for me for one of the classes, the leadership class.
Right.
And then I graduated from that class, and we presented that project, and it continued growing until finally it became a program
Here at El Paso Community College. So the recycling program is all because of an efforts of a student, you.
Yes.
That's great.
right.
Wow. And so as we've gone through the years, have you seen the college progress with its recycling efforts?
It's been progressing a lot, and we have learned through these years also that it's not only about recycling, it's other arts as well. So the recycling program has grown and expanded to more than just paper cans and bottles. We have expanded.
Wow.
more.
And tell me, what impact has this had on the college? Let's talk about money savings and things that we've saved from going into the landfills that will take years or might never disintegrate.
Right. Well, for example, so far we have recycled the weight of 875,000 Chihuahua dogs. That's how much we have recycled, right?
Chihuahua dogs.
Right. We didn't put them in the recycling bin, but the weight of them, that's how much we have recycled. And by doing that, we have saved a significant amount of trees and oil as well. The monetary, we actually have reduced our costs of disposal of waste. We have gone from $90,000 to $40,000 per year.
Per year.
Right.
That's in disposal cost.
Disposal costs.
And does the college get back any money back from recycling the plastic bottles, the aluminum cans, the paper?
So we do get our revenue for what they pick up. Mainly it's cardboard where we get the revenue. But still, it's a little bit less expensive to recycle than to throw it in the trash, right? Because throwing it in the trash, we have to pay a disposal fee and then a landfill fee as well.
Wow.
When over here, we don't have to pay the disposal fee or the landfill, and then on top of that, we get our revenue. So the cost.
And I've noticed, like in my personal life, for example, when we throw out the trash and we separate the recyclables, I notice that sometimes my recyclable bin is more fuller than the garbage can, which is good.
Which should be, all the houses should be like that, right? Because if you think about it, I mean, aluminum, plastic, and paper, and cardboard can be in your recycling bin. So whatever you have left should be very minimum.
And we were talking, you said that we've saved on oil, and let's talk about that. We know that these plastic bottles and anything made out of plastic, the big component is
oil, right?
Correct.
And I think that's a big awareness, because a lot of people, I was not aware of it, that plastics were made out of oil. Actually as a student, I changed my major to environmental science once I got involved with the recycling.
Wow.
Because I wanted to learn more. And even though I knew that it was made out of oil, it didn't make the whole connection, until I was in a presentation for third graders, and this little boy asked me, plastics are made out of what? And I said, well, oil. And then he said, is that the same thing that we put in our cars? And I'm like, yes. I mean, gas is made out of oil, right? And then he said, if I drink that, would I get sick? And I said, yes. So if I drink from a container that is made out of the same, can I get sick?
Right.
And I mean, he connected the dots.
Wow. And I was reading an article just recently that actually the cost of recycling these have gone up more than what it's bringing in because of the price of oil going down.
Down at this moment, right?
Right. But that doesn't mean we should not stop from recycling, right?
Right.
It's not just a monetary issue, but we got to be thinking about health consciousness, and we got to be thinking about protecting the environment.
And future generations, right? What are we leaving behind us?
That's correct. Well, I was looking at your presentation, and you have so many savings here involved in how we can reduce, reuse, recycle. And let's talk a little bit about that and how we can save money by doing some of the things that you've been talking about.
Yes. So I actually added a few R's besides recycling, right?
Okay.
We like to call our recycling program now more like a sustainability program.
Right.
The balance between people, planet, and profit, because we all know for your program and many other programs that we need to save money, right?
Yes,
Without
definitely.
even watching any program, we know that we need to save money, right?
And we don't know where the money goes.
But we don't know. We have no idea where the money goes. So that's why we have to keep a diary. But you'll be talking about that very soon.
Yes.
So the first R is rethink. Stop and think. What are you buying? Where are you spending your money? That's my understanding is that's the best way to know and to save money.
Right.
Where are you spending it at first? Like, are you spending it on creating memories, or are you spending it on buying more stuff? Because, and then we tend to buy more stuff than what we need. There's
Right.
a say that says that we spend money we don't have to buy things we don't need
That's
to impress
correct.
people we don't like, right?
Yeah, and also, how much of the things that you buy do you actually use or even wear? I mean, I don't get out of my favorite T-shirt, my favorite jeans, and even though I might have newer jeans or newer T-shirts,
You continue using the
I
same
continue
one,
using
right?
the same ones, and the other ones stay stored away.
Yes, so that's our first R, rethink. And then our second R will be to reduce. Reduce all the stuff, all the chemicals, like you were saying, that we don't need. So, for example, to save a little bit money, how many products do you have at home to clean with?
So, tons of them.
it,
Yeah,
right?
I have something for the bathroom. I have something for the floor. Something to clean my toilet. Everything.
And it goes on,
Yes,
right?
and it goes on and on. It's like I need storage space for that as well.
So I used to have them, all of them, again, because marketing is great at telling us that we need one product to clean each one of those areas, when in fact, the only thing that you need is vinegar, a little bit of essential oils, and baking soda. And I have tried it many times. Actually, I brought you one of the examples from the kitchen cabinet
Right.
open doors. The only thing that I did, I just placed them in a bowl and then put vinegar in it, a little bit of baking soda. When you mix them up, you
It
create
fizzes. Yeah, it fizzes, sort of like that product that they sell you that makes bubbles, correct?
Right.
Uh-huh.
So this is our less expensive bubbles without all the chemicals that you don't need.
And do you find that it cleans just as well?
It cleans, for me, it actually cleans even better.
Right. And you mentioned essential oil. What are these essential oil? The one I know of a lot is eucalyptus and, of course, tea tree oil. Those are the ones that I'm familiar with. But what other oils are there that are essential?
So, for example, I use citrus, like orange, lemon, so it has the smell that we tend to want to have, or mint, we also use mint. So something that I use those essential oils too for is for my own toothpaste.
You make your own toothpaste?
So I make my own toothpaste.
So how do you do this? And hopefully we can put up a recipe up there
Yes.
so the public can get a look
Can
at
try
these.
it.
Yes, can try this.
And it's very simple. I mean, I just mix a little bit of baking soda again, a little bit of coconut oil, and a few drops of mint essential oil.
Right.
So it has the freshness. Toothpaste actually has fluoride. And many people believe that we need fluoride. But if you do your own research, you'll find out that actually it's not very good for you.
Right.
And it's one of the mainly reasons why in the toothpaste it says do not swallow.
Correct.
And then call, if you swallow half of it, to call,
Half of the tooth.
call, because it actually can be poisonous
Right.
because of the fluoride. Fluoride is also used as a pesticide, and it actually has many other uses.
And
So-
I know that a lot of water systems are fluoridated, and so we also get probably some of it
Fluoride
through
from
there,
them, right.
probably enough what we need for our teeth.
Right. So to reduce it, I used to be buying a toothpaste without fluoride, and I would be spending like $4 to $5 because it's a little
they're
bit
more
more
expensive, yes.
Right. Until I found out that I could make my own, and it takes me like 1 minute to just mix it up, and then I use
Correct.
it.
And I was talking to one of our staff members here at the studio, and she says that she took your recommendation, and now has been using it over a year, and even her dentist commented on how her gums have improved.
Right.
And she didn't even mention to the dentist what she was using until recently.
Right, and she was using coconut oil. So instead of buying those mouthwashes that you
Correct.
buy, like also like $4-5, right, depending
Right.
on the brand that you buy, instead of using those mouthwashes that actually many of them contain alcohol and it dries your mouth
Right.
and it actually hurts your gum, if you use just coconut oil, do it in an oil pulling, it will help a lot.
You know, we were talking before the show that by doing all of this, not buying these chemicals, these cleaners, these toothpaste, that you have saved some money, correct?
Correct.
And you're even going on a trip,
Right.
on the savings that you have accumulated just by trying to be green and trying to use friendly items that we have in our homes.
Right. And like for example, I used to have Clorox and buy chloride
Or bleach.
Bleach.
Right.
I used to buy bleach a lot because if it doesn't smell like bleach, it's not clean, right?
Right.
But then I found out that bleach is actually bad. It has some chemicals that are bad for us, and you could actually read the labels, and it says, "Open the windows, have ventilation, do not inhale." So
Wear a mask.
Right? What are they telling you? So when I changed to vinegar and with vinegar and baking soda, I mean, you can use it even without gloves.
Right.
Or you can actually breathe at the same
And
time.
actually, the vinegar smell really doesn't last. You know, it only lasts while you're cleaning, and then after a while, it
just
disappears.
disappears.
And a lot of people think that it's going to smell really vinegary in your home if you use it as a
very
cleaning
salad,
product.
right? But
Yes.
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But man, we have so much to talk about, and we already ran out of time for our first half. And we'll be back and continue on learning how to be green and improve a little bit of your savings in your pocket on the second half of Making Sense. Welcome to the second half of Making Sense, and we were speaking with Mayra, who is the environmental specialist here at El Paso Community College. We were talking about how to save money and also be green at the same time. So, Mayra, we were talking about using vinegar as a cleaning product, and I use it. I definitely use it in my home. Because before I used to use that lemony smelling thing, and it actually discolored some of my floors. So when we put in a new floor, we actually did just the water and vinegar mix, and you know, if you want it to smell nice, maybe some lemon drops or even tea tree oil, and you mop your floor with that, and it leaves it clean, doesn't leave any streaks, and it smells nice, and we haven't had any problem, and the floor has maintained.
Right.
But with the other products, it seems to have yellowed it, and so we had to tear that out.
Right. And is it we become like thinking that everything that comes sometimes on TV, all the commercials
Right.
are true, right? You can also use this to clean your windows. You can use it for everything in your house. I actually use it also as a softener. So instead of buying any softeners, I just
A
put
softener for what?
for the clothes.
Oh,
So
for
when
the clothes.
uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
So when I do my laundry, I just put 1 cup of vinegar.
And vinegar is not very expensive compared to these other products.
Right.
And you were talking about another type of vinegar while we were discussing this, is apple cider vinegar.
Right.
Can you
So
talk a little bit about that?
apple cider vinegar, you can be used for many. I mean, it has thousands of uses, right?
Right.
What I use it for mainly is, for example, for facial toner.
Mm-hmm.
I actually use it also for my hair.
Right.
So
How do
it
you
looks-
use it on your hair?
And it looks pretty right today. So I use it sometimes as a conditioner.
Oh,
I do
wow.
a little bit of treatments. Like this weekend, I did a treatment for my hair with coconut oil and apple cider vinegar.
Wow.
So mix it up and then do it for your hair, and it helps the dry scalp and many other things.
And a lot of people drink, like maybe a little bit of apple cider vinegar every day, and it helps maintain the balance within their system. And because vinegar is both antifungal and antibacterial. I've used it, for example, when I get dry, itchy scalp. I take some apple cider vinegar and I put it in my hair, leave it sitting there, and then before I take a shower, and then I go take a shower, and it alleviates that flakiness that you might have without using any of those
other products,
shampoos.
right?
Yeah, and I've also used tea tree oil and vinegar also, not combined together, but they're good for athlete's foot, and it seems to take it away much faster
Than any other product
than
that
the
are
pharmaceutical products that you buy that you have to apply over 7-10 days.
Right.
Yeah, so, but let's talk a little bit about these water bottles, okay? And I've noticed that as part of your effort being here in the college is that we've installed some water fountains where we can refillable containers, not actually these water bottles, but we can bring a container and refill it and we can drink out of it, correct?
Right, correct. So the reason why we wanted to place those stations is to bring awareness. Again, we were talking about that these are made out of oil, right?
Right.
So it's not the best container for us to be drinking from. And then on top of that, if you want to save money, the first thing that you can do is to stop buying bottled water.
I know, and it costs a lot.
It
Who would
costs a
know?
lot.
Who would ever think of that you could make a business by selling bottled water?
Right. And many people think, well, it's healthier, it's better, it's safer, but
It comes from a spring.
it comes from a spring. They put the mountains in it, so you believe that it comes
Right.
from the spring. But when you actually take the time to read the little letters, and I know they're very little, right? But here in source,
It says purified using reverse osmosis or distillation.
and it's the same thing that the passive water utilities.
That's
for
what
us,
we're
right?
already paying for.
So
correct?
we're already paying for that, and then on top of that,
So I could actually fill bottles and seal them and sell them.
right, and you'll be making some money.
Wow. Okay.
Because people will buy it. Or for example, the source, this one is specified the source, and it says
public water supply from Indiana. So it's
in-
coming from their tap.
so it's coming from tap water from
And
Indiana.
Let's take a look at this one, and purified by reverse osmosis, which is
Same
basically
thing.
the same thing the water utility is doing for us, correct?
You can actually take a trip there. They have an amazing museum. It's free,
Yeah,
and the kids can actually see where the
and
water
it's
is
a
coming
beautiful
from.
plant, and it's one of the largest desalination plants
Right.
that there is in
Inland.
the world. Yeah, correct. So how much? Imagine we buy it by the cases, or we go to the convenience store and maybe we buy them for $1. Look at all the money we could be saving by just having a reusable container
Right? So it's actually, we spend an average of $400 per year.
on bottled
On
water.
bottled water. If you only buy like a 32 pack every 2 weeks. If you buy more than a 32 pack, and then sometimes when you buy them like by themselves, you don't get a very good deal
Right.
because they cost like $1 something.
Right.
And you're paying $1 something for
And then
tap
sometimes
water.
we have the water, an outside water company come and deliver it to our office or to our homes, and we even pay more for that, and
Right.
we have to pay for the machine and so forth. So all the
So-
money we could be saving.
EPCC actually is spending more than a few dollars on that.
Right.
And we're trying to bring awareness about going back and carrying. I know it gets to be heavy, but at the same time, you're saving a lot of money. So the best solution will be either glass or stainless steel.
Stainless steel.
And I actually
correct.
brought yours.
Oh
so
wow!
You can have
Thank you,
yours.
thank you very much. And these are that are put out by your department, correct?
Right.
And the reason I like these also is that it maintains the water cold.
Cool.
Yes, it
For
does.
sure.
Wow.
So it's a change that we can make to save a little bit more. I mean, $400.
Right.
That's a lot.
And let's talk about wasting of food. Okay, so that's something that you also present, is that how much food we waste, especially as a society here in the U.S.
Right. So statistics shows that we actually waste over 40% of our food. 40%, it's a lot. They actually talk about just like if you go grocery shopping and you have 4 bags, and then on your way to the car you just drop one and leave it there without
Right.
you carrying. So that's spending like $1,500 per year for food
Wow.
that you don't use. So just again putting the rethink part of it, right?
And that especially happens, and it's happened to me when you go to these club stores and you buy in bulk and you don't use it in time or you don't freeze it in time, and then you have to throw it away and all that money that you spent.
Right, and then the dates too, that it doesn't help us. Those days that sell by, best by, used by.
Right.
We tend to think that it's the same or the different.
No.
But they're actually like sell by is the date they're telling the company, the store to sell it by that date,
Right.
right? So we can actually use it afterwards.
Right. It doesn't mean it's gone bad.
Exactly. And I think that in many of these states, we have to use our common sense because those states are set up by the companies and they're not really highly regulated by the government. And many of the products that are processed food, tends not to go bad.
It tends to last forever, yeah. And,
right?
and especially if there's, like, for example, I always see packages of pepperoni, and they're not refrigerated. It's like, and it lasts forever, and you just start imagining, you know, what type of things are in here that it lasts so long and has a long shelf life.
So to begin with, do not buy something that you're not planning to eat. Go with a plan, right? Go with what.
And don't go hungry.
And don't go hungry, please, because then you're gonna buy more. And then, in addition to it, you can actually carry your own bags, which will be saving you money. Many stores are already giving you a few cents back.
Right.
If you carry your own bags.
Instead of using the plastic.
Right. So I carry this in my own. It's a little one, but it becomes
right. And then sometimes you can pick these up free, like at different fairs or everything.
Right.
I know they're always giving out those, and you can take them and you can bag your own products, because again, those plastic bags are made out of what? Oil. And
right.
not only that, you know, we live in a city where we have a lot of winds, and they always stick on the fence, or instead of having green leaf trees, you have plastic bag trees.
Right.
You know, all the plastic
Well, they're speeding in the freeway. It's not that we're speeding.
Or they get stuck underneath your car. So I think we can do a lot by taking our own bags to the grocery stores. And like you said, a lot of these stores sometimes give you a few cents off by bringing your own bags. That's exactly right. And let's talk about now about clothing. We touched a little bit on it, that we buy a lot of stuff that we don't use, but if we don't use these things, how can we get rid of them? You know, I know we could probably sell some of these things in a yard sale and make some extra money. You mentioned decluttering your home. Imagine how much inventory we have in our homes that we can actually sell.
There are actually many videos out there that show how can you start decluttering your house. There's a lady who decluttered for a year. Like she said that her goal was to get rid of 1,000 things.
Right.
And I thought 1,000, it's a lot, right? But we actually have an average of 30,000 things in our house.
Right.
So going to the small charities places, going to churches, going to temples, noticing where is the need. Rescue place.
Rescue missions or shelters or thrift stores that are owned by churches.
Right. And donating those clothes to them as well. And then again, thinking the next time when you buy something, are you really going to use it, or is it going to go into the pile?
And why wouldn't I want to go to the bigger name charities to donate a lot of these things? You gave me an interesting fact, and I think our audience would be interested in knowing this.
I will highly recommend for everybody to watch The True Cost, which is a documentary that they can find online, and we'll give them the resources at the end too. But mainly it's because they receive so much that they tend to send it overseas. Whatever they don't sell here,
or they don't find useful in selling.
They don't find useful, right? They just send it overseas.
Wow.
When you create sometimes a problem when you send it overseas, because it gets to be too much.
And they might not have the resources, because sometimes it gets sent to third world countries.
Exactly.
And they might not have the resources to take care of this extra waste that nobody might ever use, correct?
And many times ends up in the landfill. So it goes again, it contaminates our environment.
Right.
Again.
So that was amazing when I heard that a lot of these places do that. But you know, sometimes when, for example, I have a teenage boy, and buys
Well,
more clothes than he needs, and especially shoes. It's like he goes through shoes like crazy. And so I guess as we get older, hopefully our eyes open up and we realize what is it that we're doing and where is it where we need to cut. But one of the things that I saw is that you can get free paint also, right? Like
Right.
if you want to, maybe there's paint that somebody discarded that is still good, maybe they didn't like the color. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Of course. We have citizen collection stations provided by the city of El Paso. They have, I believe, 4 stations where you can go, and just by showing your water bill and an ID, you can get free paint and free mulch. And actually free glass now too.
Wow.
Because you can take your glass bottles and they will mash it out and make these small parts of glass that you can use it for construction, decoration, or something else. And it's free. It's resources for us for free.
Wow.
You can actually take some tools for you to clean your jar.
You can check them out, right?
You can check them out. So instead of you going and buying more tools to clean your jar or to make it improve it, just go
And that's one of the things that I saw that here at community college we still do not recycle glass. We can't put them in those
Right.
blue bins, or even in our homes we can't put glass in the blue bins. We would have to take them to those
Citizen
collection
collection
sites,
stations.
or what I do with mine, I take them to Target.
Right.
They have a bin there where you can place glass.
glass.
Yeah, another way we can save money is with these electronics that we always leave plugged in, correct?
Right, correct. So it's actually called the vampire energy because it's sucking the energy, not only at night, during the day as well.
Right.
And we're actually spending like an average of $150 more for all that electricity.
Wow.
per
And
year.
how many of us leave our chargers plugged in and we just leave them there even if the phone isn't plugged in? Well, Mayra, a lot of useful information for our
Yes.
public, and we're going to make sure we put up those recipes up on the show so you can get them. And if you missed anything, remember, our shows are up on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and search EPCC TV, and you can see all the series that the college produces. So if you miss something or you want to go over it again, go to YouTube and watch it again. Thank you very much, Mayra.
Thank you so much,
And we'll
Nino,
see
for
you
inviting
next
me.
time on another edition of Making Sense. Goodbye.